notes from my July 2024 reading of a March 2024, a few months ago, autobiography / memoir by RuPaul. I'm filming this Thursday, 25 July 2024. So I'm going to talk through my book and reading notes for my July 2024 reading of an autobiography / memoir on entertainer RuPaul Charles. The House of Hidden Meanings, a memoir by RuPaul. March 2024, HarperCollins First edition hardcover, ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Tuesday, 23 July 2024 and finished the book on Thursday, 25 July 2024, so just before I started filming this. It's 243 pages, including the acknowledgements and about the author sections, and it took me 3 days. So with that stuff, that's counting all the way to the end for that stuff, it's an over 80 page a day average. It's 81, I guess 81 pages per day average with that back matter stuff. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like a 70 some page, because I think it ends at 239 without the back matter. And so I'm doing for the by, it says here it just puts RuPaul, but then in the book jacket it puts RuPaul Charles. So there's the full name and then the mono name. Okay. This is a public library copy, so it's a recent release, as in like it's now July, so June, May, April, March, 4 months ago this came out. However, I thought it was a February book, so if at some point in time the title of this switches to March 2024 book, that can also be right. This particular copy, February 2024, stamped per library. So there you go. So I'm doing it March currently. If it changes to February at another time, that's consistent with the stamp in the book. Okay, but for now it's March 2024. Anyway, okay. I guess that's the introduction. So book notes and designs. Book notes including construction and design. There's a stamp, February 2024, which means they ordered this early. I did have to put it on hold. It's a hot book right now. Okay. So picture on the front. Are there pictures in the interior? Yes, but in a little bit of a different fashion. So this is the only book thus far to take the particular approach that it did, which is for the chapters. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to infringe on copyright or anything like that. There's a picture and then the name of the number of the chapter with like the chapter name, and then the chapter name is enveloped vertically by a quote, but the quote is the person's own work. So you got to like look in the chapter to find where the quote comes from, if it comes from the chapter, that kind of thing. Okay. The pages are, I thought it was good size. It's not a lot of spacing, but it was larger font. Like the spacing and the font matched, so it could have been smaller and tighter together. I've been looking at a 2003 autobiography of Hillary Rodham Clinton. I'm thinking about reading, and that I looked at that while I was reading this, and I was like, this was a fast read for me. And I have no complaints on the design on this one. And so anyway, so the that was the chapter. That one's the title of the book, and then the page numbers are at the bottom. And then there's a variety. It's actually a little bit like, what was it, 2012, the book American Sniper. The formatting is a little bit similar to that for the content within the chapters in terms of like breaks and paragraph, and then like sometimes the start of a section is a little bit bigger in like a line of font, and then it gets smaller. I think there's a typesetting thing for that, but so it's similar to the autobiography American Sniper that, you know, then was it the 2014 or 2015 film with Bradley Cooper was based on. So there's some stylistic similarities between this book and that book. Yeah, but no complaints. I liked it. And it was different, so the picture setup was different than any of the other books I've done book/reading notes on thus far. At least that I highlighted at the time. But no, so I guess the John Muir biography had like stuff before, or kind of interesting, but I don't think it wasn't the same formatting. This is a unique formatting. Okay. Reading notes. So moving on. Is that haphazard? I hope not, but yeah. Reading notes. I have two sets. I have what I typed and what I flagged. Let's go through what I flagged. It talks about men. So page 114, the maleness. I'm trying to describe a little. There's a central theme in this book of kind of sexuality and how one displays one's sexuality, and talks about maleness kind of being displays of domination, strength, and virility. Okay, and then on the female other end of the spectrum, it's sexuality, pleasure, and femininity. And so I was like, so my take on that is, so if the future is female, so think about it for a future, and male is synonymous with dominance, then technically the future is also submissive. I'm a she, her, her. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. So I was just like, yeah, the future is female, which also means it's submissive, right? If a female is not submissive, it might be a trans individual, right? That's one indicator, right? So, okay. Yes, what was this? Okay, page 121. I don't, she liked Cher, the singer Cher. That's somebody I've brought up previously, and for the writing of my own autobiography, I might include a Cher song. There were only 4 songs to make the list, that preliminary list, and one was a Cher song. So there we go. Page 122. Oh, it's he. RuPaul's a he. I apologize if I used the word she at any point, but I just described Cher. I read the trans, a memoir, and then there was the Native American Cree guy who was exploring his sexual orientation, and I'm asexual. So the current reading, I'm like reading all of these books, and I'm like, I can't quite remember the person's gender. So RuPaul is a he. Okay, and that was okay. So I apologize if I used the wrong pronoun at any point. He uses on page 122 the term asexual, as in an asexual oddball. There's different meanings. So my sexual orientation is asexual. I think here this is used in the sense of adjective, like somebody can be sexual in nature, or asexual, which is kind of, and this is the sense of like the adjective, as in like maybe how one conducts themselves. One can kind of express sexuality or not. So, okay. Page 202, I thought he made a comment about how like he would go outside after he kind of went famous, and there'd be people talking about RuPaul did blank, but they wouldn't actually, like, he'd walk up but they wouldn't necessarily recognize him or acknowledge him or anything like that. So it was kind of like they were talking about me. This means quote unquote. So they were talking about me, unquote. And so like there's a difference between some people knowing a person's name and people knowing what a person looks like in person, and like even if they see the person like and know that's the image, it doesn't mean they connect like that could actually be that person, right? So there's like the third element of, even if they know the name, the face, they might be like, oh, that's just somebody who looks like them, right? There's the other component of whether or not they're like, they can put together like that could actually be the person. So there was a little bit of, he encountered that a bit. And then page 208, 33, and I met somebody he was in a relationship with, romantic relationship with, and then broke up with, but falls into the category of 30 plus for escalation of physical commitment with soulmate, which sounded like he hasn't found his soulmate yet. And he was 61 at the start of the book. So there we go. And then I goes, only the second, so those were my flags, here we go. And if this is too long, I'm going to do this again. That's why I didn't take them out. Only the second biography / autobiography I've read that the author has highlighted their love of / fascination with airplanes and travel. RuPaul, this book, and the 2021 autobiography / memoir by Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She did it as well. Maybe the rest are just not fans of traveling, much less via air. Maybe air travel is just not a white person thing. Priyanka Chopra Jonas was of India. This comes across as a book construction style of stories meant to be incidents or situations where the author interprets himself as having the highest card for that situation, such as a fight where he got hit and his mother letting him move out at 15 years of age. I like how to pick stories to put in a book that came across kind of earlier in the book, but then kind of dissipated. Another note, it took this, there goes a Cooper's Hawk. I brought up Bradley Cooper early. It's like, quick, talk faster so this makes it. It was a Cooper's Hawk that flew past. This book took the same approach as 2016 memoir Running Man by Charlie Engle, and emphasized the author's own drug use and not their involvement in certain types of male sexual intercourse. Perhaps it is a way of them hiding they are/were a virgin. Okay, next note. Touches on staying with one's family being a bit of a cultural thing and denotes it as something, an era that came to an end with the 1980s. My own take, so essentially a good thing was ruined by the rise of tech and tech company culture. It's like, everybody move out. Okay, not necessarily a good thing. And then last up, there were overarching themes of identity through love, family, and sexuality throughout the book. It was kind of harmonious in that way from this asexual's perspective. He's still on the hunt for his soulmates at 61 years of age as of writing the book, and how it came across, at least through here. That's the, how is that for honesty? Yeah, that's like mic drop. Dude, good job. Right? Like, so many people couldn't be honest about that, so that's like A+. Maybe even A++, right? That's like 60 plus age. Right? No, we had already decided earlier, he's just the golden standard, right? So there's the 30 plus, and that includes, you know, people who are 5,000 years old and still looking for their soulmate. Okay, it's still the same, but he's just A+ for honesty and transparency. Perhaps I can share what my Jacob Ingebrigtsen 3.0 likes, our mismatch and fit assessments of our mental state relative to each other. So if I'm really high mentally and he's really low mentally, my Jacob Ingebrigtsen 3.0 goes mismatch, so that I know that I am not on the same mental level as him. All right, not on the same mental, in the same mental state as him. If we are both like thinking about me being pregnant with our seven tuplets and him rubbing my belly, he goes fit. We're thinking the same thing and feeling the same way. And so maybe RuPaul needs his mismatch and fit dude, or dudes. There we go. But that was like, that's one way, right? Like that the couple can communicate that and assess that and ascertain that about each other. In conclusion, it marked full book number 31 for me for the 2024 year, and I give it 5 out of 5 stars. And again, this is a hot book. I had to put it on hold. It was not on the shelves. I had to put it on hold and then go pick it up. And I'm happy I did. It's a good book. And I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle.